For Nutrien Ag Solutions, I'm Senior Atmospheric Scientist Andrew Pritchard with your weather story for Tuesday, December 17th, 2024. Before we get started, I mentioned that we're going to be reworking the way that we do weather content here at Nutrien moving into 2025, and I read you loud and clear when it comes to still wanting some type of weather update here on the channel available to you weekly here. So taking that into effect, we're making plans going into 2025. I want to make sure that at least once a week, there's the Canadian update here and the U.S. update on what our near-term weather risks are going to be. And my goal really is going to be interacting a lot more with our agronomists here at Nutrien so that I can be making my weather updates a lot more agronomically useful to you, kind of tying in the story, the narrative there to what, the weather is actually doing to impact your logistics, your operations. And so I am aware that, people watching this video are, a mix of my coworkers here at Nutrien. We got a mix of our grower customers, and then there's a mix of people who just enjoy following along with the ag weather narrative. And I want to make sure that I'm kind of talking to you all here in a way that's useful. So, if you're watching this video, maybe give me some feedback. Why do you watch it? Is it to help plan logistics? Is it to understand, what future risks may be in play? Is it because you just like to understand what's going on with the weather? Why is it that you enjoy following along with these videos? So jumping into it, near-term weather risk, we got strong storms and some corridors of heavy rain in the south today into tonight. 1 to 3 inches of snow spreads from the Dakotas into the upper Midwest today into tonight as well. And then we'll talk about some heavier upper Midwest snow on Thursday as well across parts of Minnesota, Wisconsin into Michigan. Now looking at the hazards map here Tuesday morning, a couple things to point out. We do have winter weather advisories in effect across South Dakota into southwestern Minnesota for that 1 to 3 inch snowfall today into tonight. We've also got winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings across the Pacific Northwest. We've got a big system that's going to be coming in over the next 24 to 48 hours there. That is the upper level disturbance that then rides over the ridge, dives into the upper Midwest, and brings accumulating snow as we get into Thursday. Moisture kind of feeding northward from the Gulf has got fog in the area as you go across the eastern Texas into the southern U.S., corridors of just murky conditions down there. And we also have some fog in the Central Valley of California and coastal portions of the Carolinas as well. Today's severe weather outlook, again, a marginal risk from the Red River of the south through the Mississippi Delta region there. Expecting a couple of severe storms, cannot rule out a couple isolated tornadoes, a couple storms producing 60-mile-per-hour winds or 1-inch hail as well, and then rumbles of thunder possible within the rain that surrounds that as well from the south into portions of the Ohio River Valley. No big severe weather risk tomorrow, and then that risk for thunderstorms moves on out of here on Thursday as we kind of see this pattern repeat with storms, areas of low pressure coming across the region every 3 to 5 days. Days 3 to 7, talking about heavy snow on Thursday across Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan. We'll take a look at that here in just a moment. Looking at the infrared picture here on Tuesday morning, a couple things to point out. We got this first area of low pressure departing, front extending south from that. That's the one that kind of knocked our temps down about 10 degrees here across the Corn Belt over the course of the day yesterday. Got a high of about 59 here in Champaign, Illinois yesterday afternoon. We'll be talking about topping out in the upper 40s today. Again, about 10 to 15 degrees cooler behind that front. The front kind of lags back here. You can kind of follow it through Kentucky and Tennessee into Texas. Moisture running up over the top of that with incoming jet stream support. It's going to kick off a couple of corridors of showers and storms through the day today. And then we've also got another upper level disturbance punching in across the Rockies right now. We'll get additional lift from that to support rain spreading into Missouri and Illinois during the overnight hours. And then that also is what kind of fuels that corridor of snow here from South Dakota along the Minnesota-Iowa border and eventually into parts of southern Wisconsin as we get into tonight. The current radar picture here, again, light snow from the Dakotas into parts of northeast Nebraska, northern Iowa, spreading into southwestern Minnesota. That will continue through the day today. You see the heavy precipitation across the Pacific Northwest. That will also continue through the day today as that area of low pressure moves ashore. We could look at all that with the NAM model. We'll bring it on back here to the very beginning. This will be midday Tuesday, getting into Tuesday afternoon, and this is what it looks like here as the sun sets Tuesday evening. Heavy precipitation in the Pacific Northwest, snow in the higher elevations, rain in coastal areas, potentially a wintry mix there kind of in the transition line. Light snow spreading out of the Dakotas, parts of northeast Nebraska, along the Minnesota and Iowa border as the sun sets tonight, and then some snow across the Rockies as well. As we get into the overnight hours, look for rain to begin expanding across parts of the Ohio Valley into Missouri, down across the Red River of the South, and this is when that severe weather risk will peak down there as well. Unfortunately, it's a overnight into tomorrow morning risk, so if you live in these regions, parts of the Delta into the Red River of the South, make sure you got your phone with wireless emergency alerts activated and some other ways to receive that warning information during the overnight, just on the offside chance we get a strong storm knocking on your door. And then I wouldn't be surprised tomorrow morning, folks in northern Illinois, parts of northwest Indiana may be waking up to a slippery, annoying morning commute tomorrow with a wintry mix moving through the area. And then as we get into the mid part of the day tomorrow, snow continues off to the east into the Great Lakes in the northeast. Along the cold front, showers and thunderstorms from the Ohio Valley down into the southeastern U.S. We'll take it all the way into Wednesday evening. This is now Wednesday night. This is Thursday morning, sunrise Thursday morning, snow spreading out of North Dakota, parts of southern Saskatchewan and southern Manitoba into Minnesota and Wisconsin. This will be a accumulating snow event here through the day on Thursday across the upper Midwest, just kind of rocking back and forth through daylight hours now on Thursday. Anywhere from North Dakota into parts of Michigan. We're going to be talking about snow through the day on Thursday, December 19th. If you got travel plans in that area, you're going to be on the road, maybe take that into account. Total precipitation through Thursday, again, heaviest across parts of the Mid-South, the Ohio River Valley, where we could see 1 to 2 inches of rain across that area in some corridors of locally heavier amounts, and then also watch out for a strong storm or two. Heaviest precipitation falls across portions of the Pacific Northwest, western Washington, coastal and higher elevations there. On the westward side of the mountains, talking about 4 to 6 inches of total precipitation. That continues to taper off as you go down through coastal Oregon and then far northern California, with snow continuing through the northern and central Rockies. And then as we get into the day on Thursday, we'll be talking about a corridor of additional snow spreading out of the Canadian Prairie. You see the system riding right here. This is our Wednesday night into Thursday snowmaker. This is Tuesday getting into Wednesday. This is Wednesday night, and then now this is Thursday. We're talking about anywhere from 4 to 6 inches of snow within that as we get through the day Thursday. I'm going to kind of skip through this pretty quick here, just showing you what's causing all of this. Again, upper level disturbance up here at the Canadian Prairies. This one helps to kick out, some heavier or colder temperatures, as we transition toward the weekend. This is the upper level disturbance feeding the snow across the northern plains. And then as it digs into the central U.S., will also kind of fuel that expanding area of rain and thunderstorms. This is as we get into tonight and early tomorrow morning. Again, a lot of lift out ahead of this disturbance. That'll kick off rain across the eastern Corn Belt, and then some heavier thunderstorms across the Ohio Valley into the Mid-South. Just kind of zooming in on the central U.S., timing this out, really was kind of focused on the upper Midwest when I threw this in here, looking at the 2 rounds of snow. This is Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday night. This is now Wednesday morning. Wednesday will be a quiet lull across much of the Corn Belt with high pressure, but as we get into Wednesday night, you see the snow already spreading into North Dakota. This could be a problematic storm system. Could certainly be a winter storm warning level storm from North Dakota into Minnesota and Wisconsin, potentially into Michigan as we get into Thursday night as well. How much snow? We're talking about 4 to 6 inches. I got the NBM, the National Blended Model, just the raw model output on the left, total snow through Friday evening. But then over on the right, this is the European model, the ensemble forecast, the probability of getting 3 inches or more of total snowfall. And you see that 70 to 80% chance there. So again, 4 to 6 inches here, maybe some lower amounts as you get into the Minneapolis area where we transition from Wisconsin into Minnesota there. But a good chance for a disruptive snow event in these areas as we get into the day on Thursday. Temperatures are going to be going for a roller coaster, especially across the central and eastern U.S. Another shot of cold air as we transition into the weekend, but you've probably been hearing the forecast for the week of Christmas looking pretty warm across basically the entirety of the lower 48, but the warmest temperatures, some 10 to 20 degrees warmer than average, will be found across the Corn Belt, portions of the northern plains into the central U.S. Not looking like a white Christmas for folks who are still hoping so. We'll just rip the Band-Aid off right now. This is the probability of 3 inches or more of snow accumulating between now and next Wednesday, December 25th, Christmas Day. You see that little swath out of the Canadian Prairie into the Great Lakes. That's Thursday, December 19th, snow there. So 4 to 6 inches from North Dakota across Minnesota and Wisconsin into Michigan, parts of the Northeast picking up some snow as well. Will it last till next week with those warmer temperatures moving in? We'll see. If it does, it's going to be a melty, slushy cement block there from melting and refreezing not a fresh powdery white snow. And then elsewhere across the central U.S., in much of the Corn Belt, just no snow to talk about, and transition toward a warmer pattern as we get closer to the Christmas holiday. So I'll have another update for you across the U.S. on Thursday. We'll have the Canadian Prairie update tomorrow on Wednesday.